Hi, everybody. Let's see here. Back from vacation. I was off for a week down in the Cabo San Lucas area. Good to be back home. Last time I talked to you, we were talking about the fact that the back half of last week into the weekend would get up into the 80s. It was at least possible we'd see a 90. Well, Portland went as high as 86, and Newport actually got up to 90, if you haven't heard. So, wow. Yesterday's high in Portland on Sunday was 81. And what I'm going to get into and show you is that it's very possible that yesterday's 81-degree temperature is going to go down as the final 80-degree day that we will see this calendar year, which, of course, hey, it's the 9th day of October. You really wouldn't expect any more 80s moving forward. So we'll see if that comes true. At any rate, you woke up this morning, you noticed the clouds. We have changed gears, and we've got several shots of decent rain coming, all total between today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And then we get into a dry Thursday. So let's get you going talking about rain, which of course is good. And a reminder, I touched on this some weeks back, that if my El Nino projection work that I'm doing right now turns out to be correct, it's really important that we get some decent rainfall this month of October. I think it's going to be really important that we get some decent rainfall in the month of November and maybe even into the start of October, because at some point, December, because at some point in December, going into January, going into February, I think it's at least possible that we will be fairly dry in terms of being well below normal of what the climate averages for precipitation are. So let's get some rain now while we can. All right, let's start off looking at the satellite radar coming to you at 9:42 on this Monday morning. You see the band of clouds that's extending right here across much of Oregon and Washington. Rain starting to pick up across the area. There's a front embedded in this that will be coming into the Willamette Valley and Southwest Washington, up and down I-5, somewhere around noon and 1 or 1:30 today. So that noon hour into early afternoon is going to be the wettest part of this Monday. And then that band of most likely rain will push off to the east. And then later this afternoon, let's say no later than 3 o'clock or on, will dry out. And if you have plans late this afternoon, 5 p.m. to be on the roads, or this evening, I'm going to carry a scattered shower chance in the forecast. But really, overall, later today and this evening, we look like we're going to be pretty dry. I do want to point out, here's one front moving inland. Here is tomorrow's rain out in the Pacific that will come in as well. And with that said, let's go ahead and show you the wider satellite picture. This also has lightning detection, some lightning down here in Nevada, not Nevada, but Arizona. And then out in the Pacific, notice the X's, that's lightning around this third low. So we have multiple weather systems. This first one, the elongated band and this weaker low, that's moving in today. Here's Tuesday's rain. And then out here is a system that approaches and keeps our rain going Tuesday night into the day on Wednesday. So again, fairly wet weather. I'm surprised that lightning is not detecting anything this morning around this low, because there is a lightning thunder chance starting tomorrow, Tuesday, through Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, where things could get fairly stormy, at least at times. All right, this graphic here is courtesy of KGW-TV. This is, I believe, the European model, giving us rain projections between this Monday and Wednesday evening, ending at 8:04. So all total, this shows there could be over 2 inches in Tillamook and Lincoln City. It shows from Kelso down through Portland, Salem, Corvallis, and Eugene, everybody gets more than an inch of total rain. And it shows Corvallis actually goes just over 1.5 inches of total rain. Puts out some higher rain amounts getting up into the Cascades. Detroit over 3 inches. Rhododendron at 1,500 feet, 2.69. And then some decent measurable rainfall amounts going over into Central Oregon. There's Prineville at less than 1/4 inch. And then John Day at 0.45. Now, to get over 1 inch of rain for Portland, Salem, and Vancouver between today and Wednesday, you're going to need to be in a spot that picks up some decent convection or downpours at times. Starting Tuesday morning, you're going to need multiple hits of some heavier rain at times into Wednesday. If you live in a spot where it seems like you hear that your neighbors are getting hit with heavier rain, but you don't, you may or may not get up to 1 inch all total for the 3-day period. Today's rainfall is going to be of the gentle nature. Again, most of it's going to fall between about noon and 2 p.m. this afternoon, and weather models go as little as 1/10 of an inch of total rain today for Portland specifically to as much as 2/10. So again, a lot of this is going to come with heavier rain pockets tomorrow, tomorrow night, and Wednesday. And with that said, it brings me to this graphic, which is what I just told you. Possible hail and lightning Tuesday morning through Wednesday noon. I think once we get into Wednesday afternoon, we're going to see things start to calm down and stabilize, and rain will start to break increasingly into diminishing scattered showers Wednesday afternoon. Eventually Wednesday night, the rain chance will come to an end. And then we have a completely dry day on Thursday and a Friday that could be dry until the evening. So that's, I hope, gives you a good idea of what's coming up in the days ahead. Again, if you have plans tonight, could be fairly dry, but then rain picks up by the time you wake up Tuesday morning. It could be pretty wet out there early tomorrow morning. All right. Thursday dry, Friday dry during the daytime potentially until we get toward evening, and then there's some evening rain coming in. This is, I think all three of these are the European model. This is Friday afternoon, and notice the white dashed line and the trough developing and digging southward out in the Pacific. So here's a front that comes in Friday evening into the overnight hours. That would kick up some rain. It wouldn't be a lot. I think Friday evening, probably 2/10 of an inch of rain, or maybe even less than 1/10 of an inch with this one band that comes through. And then behind that, here's Saturday, a south flow, a rain chance, and Sunday, a south flow and a rain chance. Both days, you can see the cold trough and the kind of bluish purple tone sitting offshore that would potentially feed some showery activity our way both days. Right now, most of the modeling, I'm looking at my cheat notes here, most of the modeling on Saturday and Sunday does not go crazy with rain. And if there are, one of the higher rain amounts I saw potentially on Sunday was 4/10, but other models only say about 1/10 of an inch of rain. So ultimately, I think it's reasonable that we could get some rain on Saturday and Sunday, both days, but it's entirely unclear if we get hit with some soaking rain or not. So just kind of stay tuned for the weekend, but realize there is this trough offshore, and it makes sense it will shoot some rain our way at times. And then there's actually a push of warm air that keeps rain chances alive going into the first part of next week. Now, while I have your attention, it's the 9th day of October. What about the October rain outlook? It's looking more promising that we will have a decent rain month. The Portland climate average for October is 3.42. And by the way, October is a month that often will set the tone for the first real beneficial rains going into the fall season. Of course, we had some beneficial rains back in September, and fire season is really laying down now. So that continues to be good news. So above normal rainfall for October, if the average is 3.42, above normal would be, you're thinking 3.5 to 4 inches of rain. Notice this does show above normal rainfall all the way through the gorge, all the way through Central Oregon, with the best bet of heavier rain amounts exceeding climate average being really near the coast. And if this were exactly correct down here along the central coast, with a little bit of a heightened bullseye going up into the western part of Washington as well. So I've said all along that I thought odds were, pardon me, my phone is ringing. Let me cut that off. Okay. I said all along that I think odds are good that we're at least going to have a decent October. And I still like our chances of being at least near normal on November for rainfall as well. Okay, and then before the 7-day, this is hard to look at, and I realize that. This is an outlook chart that I did for some one of my clients in the world of private meteorology. But what I wanted to point out, see the red numbers here, 73 degrees. That's this coming Thursday's high in Portland. Then there's a 75-degree temperature on October 19th. Otherwise, I don't go any higher than 70 degrees. So again, if I'm correct, we will not see any more 80s this month. And we may not get anything warmer than 75, which would be October 19th. I do show this will be getting into the first week of October. See that November 2nd, a high of 54. November 3rd, a high of 53. That's a cold upper level low showing up on some of the modeling that would give us a very wet and very cool first week of November. So just some things I'm watching on the radar. In terms of overnight lows, the record lows are now primarily down close to freezing for Portland. I don't see much in the way of freezing temperatures this month because I think overall we have a good chance to be fairly active with rain. But I do show a temperature maybe 37 in the valley, October 25th, maybe 35 the morning of October 31. That would be Halloween morning, would be cold. And then I show an actual freezing temperature in the Willamette Valley, 30 degrees on November 7th. So again, remember that the typical first freeze of the fall season for our area, give or take, is usually that final week of October into the first week of November. So we're starting to eye those possibilities as well. And with that said, let me wrap up with the 7-day. A reminder, my weather site is portlandweather.com. You can always get my own custom work on my 7-day post on my weather site. There's live radar, live camera network, unique pages for the Mount Hood, for the coast, for the valley as well. Anyway, today 65 or cooler with rain likely. Again, most of it's going to be in that 11 to 2 o'clock hour today. Rain at times Tuesday. These will be embedded heavy rain areas or downpours, the potential of thunder and lightning and hail. That starts up Tuesday morning early, goes all the way through about Wednesday noon. After that, we start to calm down, break into scattered showers. Thursday is completely dry. Could be some fog in the morning, but I like a sunny day that at least gets up into the 70s. Friday may be sunny to start, but I think it's a day that clouds over, has a decent chance of staying dry through mid-afternoon, and maybe we're dry until we get into early evening. Then there's that rain band Friday evening with a front, Friday overnight. And then again, at this point, I like shower chances on Saturday, Sunday, but it's completely unclear if the weekend is more wet than dry, or could the weekend be more dry than wet? I'm not sure which way that goes yet. All right, well, that is your update as I'm back from vacation. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do so. That helps me out. And for now, I'm Rod Hill, and I'll talk to you soon.